Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, step out of bed, and your legs feel steady, energized, and ready to carry you through the day. No more struggling with weak muscles, no more sudden leg cramps, and no more fear of losing your balance. If staying active and independent matters to you, what you put into your body can truly make a world of difference. Today, we're going to talk about 7 key vitamins and minerals that work behind the scenes to help your legs stay strong, stable, and full of life. These nutrients aren't just helpful, they're essential for keeping your muscles working smoothly, your bones healthy, and your blood flowing just right. Whether you love a good walk around the neighborhood, enjoy dancing at family gatherings, or simply want to keep doing the things you love without relying on others, this is something you'll want to hear. And before we jump in, I really love to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from today? Share in the comments and feel free to ask any questions you've got along the way. Also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our helpful health tips here. Now, let's take a step forward together toward stronger, healthier legs. Let's start with vitamin D. It might not get much attention, but it plays a bigger role in how our bodies age than many people realize. As we grow older, it's natural for our muscles to shrink a bit and for our bones to lose some of their strength. Movements that used to feel simple, getting up from a chair, walking across the room, or climbing stairs, can slowly become harder. A big reason behind that decline is something many folks don't expect: not getting enough vitamin D. And it's not just about keeping your bones strong. This vitamin is key to keeping your legs sturdy and your balance steady, helping you move with more confidence and less discomfort. Here's what happens over time. Our skin becomes less efficient at soaking up vitamin D from the sun. On top of that, many older adults don't spend as much time outside, maybe because of reduced mobility, staying indoors more often, or wanting to protect their skin. The result? A quiet, creeping shortage of vitamin D that weakens leg muscles, affects balance, and raises the risk of falls. Research has repeatedly shown that low levels of this vitamin are closely tied to weaker muscles and more frequent accidents in older adults. One study, published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, even found that seniors who had enough vitamin D had stronger leg muscles, moved with more coordination, and had better balance than those who didn't. On the other hand, people with low level experience faster muscle decline, making it tougher to do everyday tasks like getting up from the couch or walking up the stairs. Now, vitamin D isn't just there to help your body absorb calcium, though that's definitely part of the story. It also helps your muscles work better by supporting how proteins are built and how your nerves and muscles talk to each other. You can think of it as the fuel that keeps your leg muscles working at their best. Without enough of it, those muscles have a harder time reacting and responding when you need them to. Researchers have found that vitamin D helps protect fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones your body uses to catch yourself when you stumble or keep your balance when you trip. If your body is low on this vitamin, those fibers can break down, leading to slower movements, weaker responses, and a greater chance of getting hurt. Vitamin D can also ease inflammation in your muscles, which is great news for anyone who deals with sore legs, cramping, or stiffness. If you often feel pain or tightness in your legs that doesn't have an obvious cause, bringing your vitamin D levels up might actually make a noticeable difference. Some people feel relief from discomfort they thought they just had to live with. Ignoring a lack of vitamin D doesn't just affect your ability to move, it can have much more serious consequences. One of the biggest concerns is osteoporosis, which makes bones fragile and easy to break. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't use calcium properly, so your bones become more brittle. That means even a small fall could lead to a serious injury, limiting your independence and making recovery harder. And it doesn't stop with bones and muscles. Studies have connected vitamin D deficiency to a greater risk of heart disease, memory problems, and a weaker immune system. So it's not just about strong legs, it's about overall well-being and quality of life. The good news? It's actually pretty easy to get your vitamin D levels where they need to be, and doing so can make a big difference. One of the best ways is to spend a little time outside. Just 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight a day, especially in the morning or later in the afternoon, can give your body a nice boost. Try to let your arms and legs get some sun. But remember that sunscreen, while important, can also block vitamin D production. So balance is key. Eating foods that are naturally rich in vitamin D can also help. Think of things like salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, mushrooms, and dairy products that are fortified with the vitamin. While food alone might not be enough, it's a good step in the right direction. For many seniors, though, a daily supplement is often the most reliable way to keep levels in the right range. Most health professionals suggest between 800 and 1,000 IU each day to support bones and muscles, though if your levels are very low, your doctor might recommend more. Not sure where you stand? A quick and simple blood test can tell you if you're getting enough. In fact, many doctors routinely check vitamin D levels in older adults now because they understand how important it is for preventing falls and keeping you on your feet. Let's talk about calcium, especially as we get older. You see, when we're young, our bones are constantly rebuilding themselves. But as the years go by, that process slows down. For older adults, this means bones naturally lose some of their strength, which can lead to serious problems if we're not careful, particularly in the legs. A simple stumble that once would have left us with just a bruise can now turn into a hip fracture or a broken leg, leading to long recoveries or even long-term loss of mobility. And while calcium is known for keeping bones strong, that's only part of the story. It's also absolutely essential for keeping our muscles working properly. Whether you're standing up from a chair or taking a walk around the block, your muscles rely on calcium to contract and move smoothly. Without enough of it, your legs might cramp up, feel weak, or just not respond the way they used to. That's why people low on calcium often notice more frequent muscle cramps, slower movement, and a general lack of stamina. So, how do you keep your calcium levels where they should be? While dairy foods like milk, cheese, and yogurt are great sources, they're not the only options. You can also find plenty of calcium in leafy greens like kale and bok choy, almonds, tofu, sardines, and even plant-based milks that have added calcium. What matters most is mixing it up. Getting calcium from a variety of foods helps your body absorb and use it more effectively. Still, depending on your diet or how your body absorbs nutrients, food alone might not always cover your needs. That's where calcium supplements come in, especially when they're paired with vitamin D, which helps your body soak up the calcium. But keep in mind, more isn't always better. Taking too much calcium, particularly from supplements, can lead to problems like kidney stones, stomach trouble, or calcium building up where it shouldn't, like in your arteries. The sweet spot for most older adults is around 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams a day, ideally from both food and supplements if needed. There's one more piece to the puzzle: movement. Staying active with weight-bearing activities like walking, light jogging, or using resistance bands encourages your bones to stay strong and helps your body put that calcium to good use. Even if you're getting the right amount of calcium, without movement, your bones won't benefit as much. Not paying attention to calcium doesn't just put your bones at risk. It affects your freedom, your ability to do what you love, and your overall confidence. Strong bones and muscles are what keep you moving, balanced, and independent. And calcium plays a big role in all of that. When we think about keeping our legs strong as we get older, most of us tend to focus on getting enough calcium and protein. But there's another key player that often gets left out of the conversation: vitamin B12. What makes B12 so important is the role it plays in keeping our nerves working properly. It's like the wiring in a house. If that wiring isn't in good shape, the lights won't turn on the way they should. In the same way, if your body doesn't have enough B12, the signals that travel from your brain and spinal cord down to your legs can get weaker or scrambled. That leads to muscles not getting the message they need to move properly, causing fatigue, wobbliness, and even a loss of control in how your legs respond. A lot of older folks who notice their legs feel heavy or sluggish, or who experience a strange tingling or numbness, are actually showing signs of a B12 shortfall. The tricky part? B12 deficiency is surprisingly widespread among seniors. And it's not just about what we eat. As we age, our digestive systems tend to slow down a bit, and our stomachs don't produce as much acid as they used to. That acid is essential for helping us absorb B12 from food. On top of that, some common health issues like acid reflux or even using heartburn medications for a long time can make it even harder for the body to pull B12 from what we eat. Many older adults also don't realize they're not getting enough B12-rich foods in their daily meals, which only adds to the problem. When B12 levels start running low, it doesn't just zap your energy, it can cause lasting damage to your nerves. That affects your balance, your coordination, and your ability to move confidently. Some folks chalk up frequent stumbles, shaky walking, or a general sense that their legs just aren't what they used to be as a normal part of aging. But in many cases, it's a quiet sign that the body is running low on this crucial vitamin. The good news is, once you bring B12 levels back up, things can turn around in a big way. Many people report feeling stronger, steadier, and more energetic when their B12 is back where it should be. So where do we get this important vitamin? Unlike many nutrients that come from fruits or veggies, B12 is mostly found in animal-based foods. That includes meat, fish, dairy, eggs, and especially things like clams and liver, which are packed with it. If you're on a vegetarian or vegan diet, or if your body has trouble absorbing B12 from food, there are still options. Fortified foods like certain cereals and plant-based milks can help, and so can B12 supplements. The great thing about B12 is that it's very safe to take, even in larger doses, because your body will flush out any extra through your urine. Some older adults find they need higher dose supplements or even occasional B12 shots to keep their levels steady. Having your B12 checked with a simple blood test now and then is a good way to stay ahead of any problems. What it all boils down to is this: strong legs aren't just about muscles. They're also about how well your nervous system is working. You can exercise all you want, but if your nerves aren't firing right, your legs just won't move the way you need them to. That's why keeping an eye on your B12 levels can be one of the smartest, most effective steps you take to stay active, steady, and independent as you age. Magnesium may not get much attention, but it quietly supports your body every time you take a step. It helps your muscles do what they're supposed to, tighten when needed, and then relax again so you can walk, move, and stay active without cramping up or getting too tired too quickly. If you've ever had those annoying leg cramps at night or felt your legs twitch and jerk when you're trying to fall asleep, there's a good chance your body might be running low on magnesium. These nighttime muscle spasms aren't just a nuisance. They're your body's way of waving a little red flag, saying it needs some help relaxing your muscles properly. Magnesium helps settle down jumpy nerves and keeps muscles from locking up unexpectedly, making it especially helpful if you deal with tightness, tension, or muscles that don't seem to cooperate. But its benefits go beyond muscles. Magnesium also plays a big role in keeping your bones strong and your joints comfortable. While most folks think of calcium when it comes to bone health, calcium actually needs magnesium to work well. Without enough magnesium, calcium can wind up in places it shouldn't be, like your joints or soft tissues, leading to stiffness and discomfort. Research has shown that people who get more magnesium tend to have stronger bones and are less likely to deal with fractures as they age. It's one of the keys to staying steady on your feet and maintaining mobility. One reason so many older adults are low on magnesium is because stress, certain medications, and poor eating habits can all drain your levels without you even realizing it. Medicines like diuretics, acid reducers, and some blood pressure pills can make it harder for your body to hold onto magnesium. If your meals don't regularly include magnesium-rich foods, you can end up running on empty. Over time, that leads to feeling more tired, walking shorter distances, needing more breaks, and finding everyday tasks more exhausting. It's easy to assume it's just part of aging, but often your body's simply not getting what it needs to keep going strong. Once you start getting enough magnesium, the changes can be pretty amazing. Leg cramps often ease up, your energy picks up, and moving around feels less of a chore and more natural again. The best way to get more magnesium is through food. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, beans, and whole grains are all great choices. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, and avocados pack a good punch of magnesium and can be added to meals in simple ways. But if food alone doesn't cut it, certain supplements, especially forms like magnesium citrate or glycinate, can give your body the gentle boost it needs without upsetting your stomach. Many older adults who've struggled with stiffness or fatigue find a real sense of relief once their magnesium stores are back where they should be. Legs feel lighter, sleep comes easier, and it's easier to stay balanced and steady when walking. It's one small change that can bring big improvements in how your body feels and moves every day. Number 5, let's talk about potassium. Picture this. You get out of bed in the morning, take a step and bam, a sharp cramp grabs your calf. Sound familiar? That sudden jolt could be your body's way of saying it's running low on potassium. You see, potassium plays a big role in how our muscles behave. It helps keep fluids balanced inside and outside the muscle cells, which keeps everything running smoothly. When those levels drop, the muscles can start to misfire, tightening up without warning, especially in the legs. And for folks in their later years, when muscle tone and circulation may already be slowing down, these cramps can really throw a wrench in your day. But that's just one part of the picture. Ever feel your legs get shaky after standing for a bit? Or notice your steps feel stiffer than they used to? Potassium is also behind the scenes helping your nerves and muscles talk to each other. When that connection isn't working quite right because potassium is too low, your legs might not move as steadily, which can lead to wobbly steps or trouble lifting your feet. And let's be honest, staying steady on our feet becomes more important with each passing year. What many folks don't realize is that potassium is also a quiet helper when it comes to bone strength. It helps balance out acids in the body that over time can wear away at bone density. Some research even shows that eating foods rich in potassium may help slow down bone loss, which means stronger bones and legs that support you better as time goes on. So really, potassium isn't just about easing those pesky cramps. It's part of a bigger picture that helps muscles and bones work together like a well-tuned team. Now you might be wondering, okay, so how do I make sure I'm getting enough of it? Luckily, there are plenty of tasty ways to boost your potassium through everyday foods. Bananas get all the attention, sure, but they're just one option. Foods like sweet potatoes, spinach, avocados, beans, and oranges are all great choices. Even a baked potato with the skin left on can pack in more potassium than a banana. The goal is to add a good mix of these into your meals regularly, so your body gets the steady support it needs. If it's hard to get enough from food alone, it might be tempting to reach for a supplement. But before doing that, it's good to know how much potassium you really need. For most adults, the target is about 2,600 milligrams a day for women and 3,400 milligrams for men. That's usually doable with a balanced diet full of fruits, veggies, and legumes. That said, if you've got certain health conditions like kidney issues or high blood pressure, it's important to talk with your doctor first, since too much potassium can be harmful in some cases. When we talk about keeping our bones strong, most folks immediately think of calcium or vitamin D. But there's another unsung hero in the mix that often gets overlooked: vitamin K. Without it, calcium and vitamin D can't really do what they're supposed to. Think of vitamin K as the guy that makes sure calcium ends up where it needs to be, in your bones, instead of in places it shouldn't go, like your arteries or soft tissues. When calcium ends up in the wrong spots, it can lead to stiffness, circulation problems, and even heart issues. So, in a way, vitamin K helps keep your bones sturdy and your legs working the way they should, especially as we age. As we get older, this becomes even more important. Research has shown that people who get more vitamin K in their diets tend to have stronger bones, fewer fractures, and better overall bone health. That's because vitamin K helps activate something called osteocalcin, a protein that helps anchor calcium into the bones, making them denser and harder to break. But the benefits of vitamin K don't stop there. It also plays a big role in keeping our joints and muscles healthy. A lot of people don't realize that having strong legs isn't just about bones. It's about the whole package. Joints that bend easily and muscles that work properly. Vitamin K has been found to calm inflammation in the joints, which can help slow down arthritis and ease that common stiffness in the knees. If you've ever noticed your knees getting sore when you stand up or feeling tight after sitting for a while, low vitamin K might be a factor. Weak leg muscles can throw off your balance and make walking more difficult, sometimes leading to falls. Newer studies are showing that vitamin K helps keep muscles coordinated and strong by managing calcium levels inside muscle cells. This helps your muscles contract smoothly so you don't feel off balance or unsteady. Now, where can you get more of this helpful nutrient? The plant-based version, called vitamin K1, is packed into leafy greens like spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, and Brussels sprouts. There's also vitamin K2, which shows up in fermented foods like natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, egg yolks, and liver. K2 is especially useful because it sticks around in the body longer and does an even better job of steering calcium into your bones where it belongs. If you're thinking about getting more vitamin K in your diet, one of the simplest ways is to eat more greens and try adding in some fermented foods. Toss a handful of kale into your morning smoothie or serve some sautéed spinach with dinner. It's those little daily changes that can really add up. That said, some people, especially those with digestive issues or who've been on antibiotics for a long time, might have trouble absorbing vitamin K from food alone. In those cases, supplements might help, but you do need to be careful. If you take blood thinners like warfarin, it's very important to talk with your doctor before changing your vitamin K intake, since it can affect how your medication works. Always better to be safe and make those changes with guidance. Vitamin B6 might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about staying strong and steady on your feet, but is actually one of the unsung heroes when it comes to keeping your legs moving and your muscles working the way they should. You might hear it called pyridoxine, but don't worry about the fancy name. What matters is what it does for your body. This little nutrient helps keep your nerves healthy, supports your muscles as they recover, and make sure your body uses the protein from your food to build and preserve muscle. Without enough B6, even folks with decent muscle tone can start to feel weaker, and everyday tasks like climbing stairs or getting out of a chair can become a real chore. One of the things people often miss about vitamin B6 is how it helps with nerve communication. When your B6 levels are low, those messages between your brain and muscles don't travel as smoothly. That can lead to strange feelings like tingling, numbness, or even a wobbly walk. A lot of older adults chalk that up to just getting older, but sometimes it's really about the body not getting what it needs to keep things running right. B6 also helps ease the kind of muscle tiredness that comes from inflammation. It keeps your body's response to strain and stress in check, which means less soreness and more flexibility. So, if your legs have been feeling stiff or it's taking longer than usual to bounce back after a walk or some light activity, a little extra B6 might make a noticeable difference. But it doesn't stop there. Vitamin B6 is key in making red blood cells, which carry oxygen all through your body. Your muscles depend on that oxygen to stay energized, especially during any kind of movement. If you're low on B6, your hemoglobin might drop too, and that can leave your legs feeling heavy, your energy tank running on empty, and even make short walks feel like a marathon. The good news? You don't need to hunt for exotic ingredients to get more B6. It's right there in everyday favorites like chicken, salmon, tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and even fortified breakfast cereals. Adding these foods to your regular meals is a simple way to keep your B6 levels where they need to be. Of course, if your body has trouble absorbing nutrients, maybe because of digestion issues or certain health conditions, you might need to consider a supplement. For most older adults, the sweet spot is about 1.5 milligrams per day for women and 1.7 milligrams for men. It's usually best to get it from food, but if you're using supplements, just be careful not to go overboard. Taking too much over time can lead to nerve problems. The safest route is to stick with a balanced diet full of B6-rich foods so your muscles and nerves get a steady, natural support without any unnecessary risks. Each of the 7 vitamins and minerals we explored today plays a special role in helping you move with confidence, strength, and ease. From vitamin D supporting your bones and balance, to B12 and B6 ensuring your nerves and muscles stay in sync, and from magnesium and potassium keeping cramps at bay, to calcium and vitamin K building a strong foundation, your legs depend on these nutrients every single day. And the best part? You can nourish your body with simple everyday foods and thoughtful habits that support lifelong mobility and independence. You don't have to settle for stiffness, weakness, or fatigue. Your body is capable of renewal, and these nutrients are part of that healing journey. If anything in this video resonated with you, take a gentle step today. Add some of these nutrients to your meals. Speak with your doctor about supplements if needed, and honor the strength your body still holds. And if this message uplifted you, please support our work by liking the video, sharing it with someone you care about, and leaving a comment below to tell us what health topic you'd like to see in a future video. We love walking this path with you, one healthy step at a time.